Thank you for joining us on this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name is Scott Jenkins, your host. Just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona, and hopefully today with our picks and your picks, it's going to be another profitable day for you. Saturday, January 13th. Basketball slate today. We did have a few college games earlier. Hopefully you're checking out the Google Sheets as those games started before we got this video out here. So far, Georgia was kind of a split. We lost first half, won the game. On that one, New Mexico looks like first half covered. Texas A&M's in a close battle with Kentucky. So those were the three college games on. We'll get into the NBA slate, spend some time there. This is a kind of I'll put it to you this way. This feels like a huge blowout day for a lot of this slate. Could be off here, but just a little crazy. But we'll get started. First game first. Rockets at the Celtics. The Celtics coming off that embarrassment against the Bucks where they sat starters in the second half because they were down by almost 40. The Rockets just coming off a back-to-back. Celtics favored by 15 at home. They are undefeated at home. But I'm not going to play a money line at minus 1,200. And if I recall, the last time they were a double-digit favorite like this was against the Pistons, and they barely escaped. So we don't like the line or the total in this one. I don't know how the Rockets going to react on a back-to-back and on the road. Just a couple player props in this particular game. Sengun under 22.5 points and over 2.5 turnovers. And then with Jaylen Brown over 1.5 threes, and we hope he gets them in the first quarter. Is normally when he does a lot of his scoring. Then also Tatum over 2.5 turnovers, and hopefully that happens all in the first half, as this game could get away. This game could, the Celtics can win by 30, or this thing could be a 2-point ball game. That's how, I think, both ends of the spectrum, but I don't see a lot in between. It's either blowing the doors off, they're all clicking, or they can't get, or they're, still reeling a little bit from the Bucks game. So one more time, the bets that we have in the Rockets and Celtics. Sengun under 22.5 points, over 2.5 turnovers for the Rockets. Jaylen Brown over 1.5 three-pointers made. Tatum over 2.5 turnovers. Next game up, Wizards-Hawks. Hawks coming off the win last night. Wizards coming into town. Hawks 6.5-point favorite. 248.5 total. This is another one of those games that it's kind of all over the board. It's just the Hawks' inconsistency. Trae Young should be probably your leading scorer every time, but I swear this thing gets all crazy. Trae Young defaults too much, doesn't run the offense. DeJounte Murray. I understand why they brought in Murray, but I thought that probably meant the end of Trae Young to do so, and maybe some more wings around DeJounte, but that's not what they chose to do. It's just been extremely inconsistent for the Hawks. The one night they look fantastic. The next night they look like they don't, they look like they should be playing in college basketball. So just a couple player props in this one here. Jalen Johnson, we'll go back to the well, over 16.5 points. He was one shy this last night. He ended with 16. Trae Young over 11.5 assists. If he's going to be passive and throw the ball all over the place, then we might as well try to get him on the assist line there. So just those two player props, over 16.5 points for Jalen Johnson. Trae Young under 11.5 assists. Next game up, Bucks-Warriors. The Warriors are basically sitting everybody. Curry's out. Draymond's out. They got a list of like 5 or 6 dudes that are out. Bucks are favored somewhere between 14 and 15, 241.5 total. We don't like the side at all, but we do like, and the Bucks are like 0-10 as a double-digit favorite, so we probably should play the Warriors. But what we are going to do here is we're going to play the total. We're going to play the total under on that one. So under 241.5 for the game, but under 59.5 first quarter, under 118.5 first half, and under that 241.5. Giannis over 12.5 rebounds, because the Golden State cannot rebound unless it's long rebound off of threes missed. And then Giannis over 2.5 turnovers. Normally he's 3.5, so we'll happily hop on this one. So Warriors-Bucks under 59.5 first quarter, under 118.5 first half, under 241.5 for the game. Giannis over 12.5 rebounds and over 2.5 turnovers in that matchup there. Next game up, Magic Thunder. Magic missing slew flu players again. Thunder favored by 11.5, total of 232. Magic coming off a back-to-back where they didn't score 100 last night. Banchero, he finished below his point prop at 27.5, so we missed a little bit there. And what happens when they go play the Thunder? It goes up to 28, 29.5. So little misexplaining there, right? So Thunder have been hot. They're extremely tough at home. This is one of those games, again, you got to be careful of. I think this game could be like one of those 30-point blowouts. So you really got to watch the player prop side that you're going to take. But we are on the Thunder. They are one of the best teams in the league, believe it or not. They are, and they come to prove it on a nightly basis. So Thunder -4 first quarter, -6.5 first half, -11 for the game. Holmgren over 17.5 points, over 1.5 threes, over 27.5 par, and over 2.5 blocks, and over 1.5 turnovers. If that doesn't make you crazy with all the Holmgren plays right there. But Holmgren has been money for us all season long. So we continue to go back to this doesn't need to be brain science, like rocket science. Go to the bets. If I play them every day and they hit 75% of the time, I'm good there. Trust me. So, not doing this, or you need to be, extremely creative. It's not necessarily the case. We follow guys. We have certain players that we like, and we'll play over-unders on those players. Sometimes we'll play under if we feel it's going on. Like you'll find out with SGA and Banchero coming in today. So on that one. Banchero, though, under 29.5 points. And then we got SGA. We're going to go under his par total again, 44.5. This continues to cash as he continues to sit for full fourth quarters. He plays the full first quarter. He plays about half the second quarter, normally full third, and then it's normally half the fourth. But the way they've been up in some of these games, if it's a runaway, he's sitting the fourth. It's just the way it goes. He's not going to try to score 50 points in the first two quarters. So take advantage of these under 44.5 par on this one. We think this one comes in, cashes again. Banchero under 42.5 par. Same type of thing. If they're getting their doors blown off, he's not playing the fourth quarter, especially on a back-to-back night on that one there. SGA over 1.5 steals. They finally got off this 2.5 shit and went to 1.5. It is minus, though, versus plus 150. He has not been stealing the ball as much as of late, but we're hoping we can get 2 steals out of him tonight. Banchero over 3.5 turnovers as well. So we'll give you this game one more time, this Thunder Magic matchup. Thunder -4 first quarter, -6.5 first half, -11 for the game. Holmgren over 17.5 points. Banchero under 29.5 points. Holmgren over 1.5 threes. SGA under 44.5 par. Chet Holmgren over 27.5 par. Banchero under 42.5 par. Holmgren over 2.5 blocks at plus 135 on DraftKings, just a heads up. SGA over 1.5 steals. Banchero over 3.5 turnovers. Holmgren over 1.5 turnovers. So we'll get to the next game on that one. We've got Spurs Bulls. Wemby is out. Bulls favored by 6.5 in San Antonio. San Antonio off a back-to-back, so I guess that's why we're sitting Wemby on that one there. So not a ton in this particular matchup. We do like Vassell over 21.5 points for the Spurs, and Vukovic for the Bulls over 11.5 rebounds, and Jeremy Sochan over 1.5 turnovers. So one more time in that Spurs-Bulls matchup, we're going to go Vassell over 21.5 points, Vukovic over 11.5 rebounds, Sochan over 1.5 turnovers in that one. Next game up we're going to be on is going to be Knicks-Grizzlies. We do not have a single bet on. I don't know what to play in that game. I honestly think it's either the Knicks blow them out or the Grizzlies win straight up. So tempted to throw just a little bit of coin on the Grizzlies at plus 410 or so on the money line here, but I don't think it's an easy game to handicap whatsoever. So we currently don't have anything on there, but the Google Sheets, which I mentioned before, please do check those out because we might throw something on that game for game time. I mean, we're still 5 hours out on that particular one there. Next game up, let's see, is going to be Pelicans at the Mavs. Looks like no Luka again tonight. Pelicans come off that disappointing loss to the Nuggets. They were just scorching hot, and then all of a sudden ran in the Nuggets and couldn't hit dog shit last night. Pelicans getting 3.5, 229.5, and the Mavs have been a good home team. We think the Pelicans get back to it tonight. So Pelicans plus 0.5 first quarter, plus 1.5 first half, plus 3.5 for the game. Herbert Jones over 11.5 points. Valanciunas over 10.5 rebounds. Kyrie Irving over 2.5 turnovers as he's the primary ball handler now. Pelicans over the 113.5 team total. I think they can score $120 here tonight. It's not, the Mavs defense is not stellar by any stretch. So Pelicans plus 0.5 first quarter, plus 1.5 first half, plus 3.5 for the game. Herbert Jones over 11.5 points. Valanciunas over 10.5 rebounds. Irving over 2.5 turnovers. And the Pelicans over the 113.5 team total. Last game of the night, we're all in on this one. Lakers, Jazz. Everybody know what the Jazz have been doing lately? They're getting one at home against the Lakers. Lakers have lost like 12 out of the last 16 or something like that. They've been playing like dog shit. To put it mildly, they start off slow normally unless they catch a hot shooting night. And on the road, they're not that much better. Somehow they're still a 1-point favorite over what the Jazz are doing. Jazz plus 1 at home, 239 total. We're going to take the Jazz tonight, getting the 1. So Jazz plus 0.5 first quarter, plus 0.5 first half, plus 1 for the game. Can you imagine what the Jazz were doing if they had stars? It's crazy. But anyway, Anthony Davis under 27.5 points. Tyron Prince under 10.5 points. Marketing for the Jazz over 23.5 points. Prince under 2.5 three-pointers made, as he does not hit them on the road like he does at home. Marketing over 3.5 three-pointers made. That is pretty good plus money at plus 130 on DraftKings. Anthony Davis under 42.5 par. Under 2.5 blocks. And over 2.5 turnovers. So one more time, Jazz-Lakers game. Jazz plus 0.5 first quarter. Plus 0.5 first half. Plus 1 for the game. Anthony Davis under 27.5 points. Under 42.5 par. Points, assists, rebounds combined. Under 2.5 blocks. Over 2.5 turnovers. Prince under 10.5 points. And under 2.5 threes. Marketing over 23.5 points. And over 3.5 threes. So at the end of every show that we do, in the comments section, there will be a link to the Google Sheet. It states like docs.google.spreadsheet. This is a ledger of all of our bets, what juice we got them at, how many units we placed, and then obviously the result once it's done. Yesterday, a little bit of a losing day. On basketball, only 11 units down yesterday. We're up over 2,700 units so far this season on basketball. We kind of know, I don't want to say I'm the best ever or anything like that because I'm not. But we know what the hell we're doing when it comes to basketball plays. There's going to be, it's like with anything. There's going to be losing days, no question about it. The key is to minimize those as much as possible and to have, when the winning days happen, have them be as possible. So, I mean, we rarely do parlays, and the reason being is because every leg of a parlay you add, even though it adds odds to your bet, it increases the opportunity for the book to win. We're a straight wager type of place. Occasionally we'll do parlay. I don't even, the ones that they try to get, they promote, where they cut basically everything down, but you got to hit 4 legs to get what you could get on almost a straight wager. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me, as there's 4 opportunities for you to lose or push, if you push one of the bets or whatever like that. So we're a straight wager type of joint. If you're interested in making money, this is what we do. We lay out the blueprint of what we do. And we put it all out there for you to see. Nothing hidden. If you're into football as well that's going on, obviously we have a football as well. We did the wild cards weekend bets already that we put out last night. But you can also check those out on the Google Sheet and just go to them and see what we've got playing for today, tomorrow, and Monday if you want to check that out as well. But football-wise, we're up 2,400 units roughly. For the season as well. Football is probably the hardest one to handicap, as it is the most bet sport there. The book is very dialed in for the most part when it comes to that. Just the way it is. Baseball, we had monster year, 7,500 plus units up. So feel free to check out all those Google Sheets, see the results of what we did and what we've got going on and what's live currently. So check that out. And as always, if you can subscribe and get notifications to our YouTube channel, so when we drop our bets in an episode, you get those first. It makes life really simple. Once you subscribe to our channel, then turn those notifications on. You get a notification to your phone or device to let you know Sports Bets for Free has dropped some new bets. And you go check those out and match them up with your bets and give you that ton of confidence you need to hang the betting app or betting window so we can make some money. I do appreciate everybody's support as always, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.